The shell commands you learnt so far allow you to move around the file system, look at files, rename files, but the shell is actually a sophisticated programming language with control structures and variables, just like a conventional programming language such as Python or JavaScript. When combined with text processing application commands, the shell can do very powerful tasks. For simple text processing tasks, you should consider writing a shell script rather than writing a Python program. The shell has variables just like conventional programming languages. So to give a variable a value, we use an assignment statement like this. Note that there are no spaces around the equal sign. This is a common error. We retrieve the value of a variable by putting a $sign in front of the variable name, like this. Echo is a simple command that just prints out its arguments. Shell variables can only hold strings of characters, but this makes them very useful. For example, a variable might hold a file name. The way this works is that the shell replaces the variable $file by the string it contains. In this example, $file is replaced by the value Fred. Shell variables, as I said, can only have string values, that is, a sequence of characters. Even so, we can still use them for numbers by using an application program such as Expra, as in this example. Expra looks at its arguments and evaluates them as an arithmetic expression. The question is, how do we get the result back into A if we want A equals A plus 1? Using another feature of the shell, we can enclose a command in back quotes on the top left of your keyboard. This means replace the command with its output. So this command, echo cat myfile.txt in back quotes, is replaced with cat myfile.txt, and this command is then interpreted by the shell and copies the file myfile.txt to output. So what does this do? Well, the first echo prints its arguments, that is, echo hello, and the output replaces the line, and the shell then executes the command echo hello, and the output is hello. Now back to our arithmetic example. We can get the standard output of Expra and use it as the right-hand side of a shell assignment like this. In future segments, we'll introduce shell control structures that include the if statement, the while statement, the for statement, and others. And when combined with shell variables and pipes, the shell becomes a very powerful programming language. We can also store shell commands in a file and run them as if there were another command. These are known as shell scripts. Here is a very simple shell script. If we store those lines in a file called myname, we can run it using bash myname Bob, for example, and it will print out Bob is my name. But looking at the script, what does this !bin bash part mean? Well, this is interpreted by the system when the shell asks for the myname file to be executed. The system sees the !! part and then takes the rest of the line as a file containing a program to run, that is, /bin/bash. It executes the program and passes the rest of the original file on standard input. This way, the shell reads the rest of the script and interprets it. But what does that $1 part mean? Well, this is actually a special shell variable that specifies the first argument of the script. You can specify the second and third arguments in the obvious way, $2 and so on. In an earlier video, you saw that you can redirect the output of a command so that it goes to a file instead of the screen. You can also take the output of one command and send it to the input of another using a pipe. And a pipe is specified with a vertical bar symbol, like this example, cat myfile pipe wc. Now wc is a command called word count that reads its input and then prints out the number of lines, the number of words, and the number of characters. You can use pipes to combine arguments in many useful ways. Unix has a lot of simple commands that process text. You can count lines, words, characters, select lines based on a pattern, cut out sections of lines, paste sections together to make lines. You can do calculations, all sorts of things. So for example, these commands process some plain text. So we've got WC word count, I've shown you that one. We've got cut to remove a portion of a line, paste to paste lines together. We've got a thing called a stream editor, which will select and edit lines, something which will translate characters from one class of character to another, something to sort a file, one to select lines based on patterns, another one to remove duplicate lines, and then a very powerful formatting command. In Unix-based systems such as Linux, the documentation for all the basic commands is stored in files, and you can display the relevant file using the man command. So, for example, to get the manual entry for the man command itself, you type man space man, and that will give you the page containing the manual entry. Well, that's all for this video on the shell. There will be more videos covering more advanced parts of the shell in future.